Okay, last time we were learning about Ma'ariv on Saturday night, getting into Havdalah. So we learned that you delay as much as possible Ma'ariv Saturday night because Gehenim doesn't be open until the last community finishes davening Ma'ariv, so to speak. So after Shemona Esrei, okay, in the Shemona Esrei we were discussing you say Atochan Antonu, the Havdalah, and if you didn't, and so on. Now after Shemona Esrei of Ma'ariv Saturday night, you say Hav Kaddish, and then you say V'inoyam Yoshe B'Seisen V'Ato Kaddish. Why do you say that on Saturday night? So there's many reasons, but the basic reason is because Shabbos, the Jews don't need Shmira. Shabbos is a day of Shmira itself. So during the week, we have, right before Shemona Esrei, we say, Ushmer Tzeseinu Baruch Ata Hashem Shemer Asami Yisrael Lad. Because during the week, we need Shmira, we need protection from Hashem. Shabbos itself is Shmira. Therefore, that bracha, after Gal Yisrael, on Friday night, we don't say Hashkivenu. We would say Hashkivenu, but a prayer Sukkah Sholem Aleinu Val Kol Ama Yisrael Val Yerushalayim. We don't say anything about Shmira, because Shabbos is a day of Shmira. In fact, there's an interesting custom that, there's a thing called Wachtnacht. Wachtnacht means the night, if you have a baby boy and you're going to have a bris, let's say Tuesday, so Monday night, the father is up a whole night. Wachtnacht means, Wach means up, Nacht means night. Wachtnacht means you're up a whole night, you have Zohar, different things. Why does the father of the baby stay up a whole night? Because bris is a very important thing, bris milah, and the Satan likes to get in the way of very important things. So the Satan, God forbid, could come and hurt the baby of some sort, whatever. So your father's up a whole night learning Torah. That protects, because Torah also protects. So there are opinions in halacha that say that if the bris is on Shabbos, Friday night you don't need to stay up. Why? Because Shabbos itself is Shmira. Our minhag is we stay up anyway, but there are people that don't because they're lazy. But because Shabbos itself is Shmira, Shabbos protects. So now you finished Ma'ariv, so now you're going into the weekday. So you need a protection. So Yeshe B'Sei said, if you look at the parak, it speaks about Shem Shemrecha, Shem Tzilcha, it speaks about protection. So therefore it says in halacha, the reason why we say Yeshe B'Sei said is because it's an additional preparation. And we start it before Yeshiva says, and we say, V'inoyam Hashem Elokeinu Aleinu. May the sweetness of Hashem be upon us. Why do we say that Saturday night? Because it's a pasuk in Tehillim, but the Medrash says that when Moshe Rabbeinu finished the building of the Mishkan, Rashi quotes this in Chumash, by the way, Hashem says, Yiratzein shetishra shchina b'maiseh yadecha. May it be the will of Hashem that the Shekhinah rests. And that's what Moshe Rabbeinu said, the pasuk, V'inoyam Hashem Elokeinu Aleinu, may the sweetness of Hashem and His words should establish us. So therefore it's a pasuk that begins the week with a bracha in the work that we do during the week. And then through that we do V'ato Kaddish, because Kaddish, Kaddish, Kaddish is also about Hashem's Kedusha should rest in the week. The whole thing is you double the pasuk. There's a million different reasons why it's done. Some people say you really should double the whole. Every pasuk should be doubled, but it's too much, so just double the last pasuk. Because also it says in the Medrash that Gehenim is closed until after the Jews say Kaddish Kaddish Saturday night. So again, it all has to do with starting the week with Gehenim and all that. So now what happens if there's a Yom Tov during the week? A Yom Tov means that you're not allowed to do Malacha. Like Pesach, Shavuot, Sukkot, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, one of those. So because you don't have a full week, and it says twice the word Kainaneh, whatever, without the explanations of all that, the bottom line is, the custom is if there's a Yom Tov during the week that you're not allowed to do Malacha, so you don't say V'inoyam because you don't have a full week of work. So then the Chazal says full Kaddish instead of half Kaddish. Now, another interesting thing is what happens if Yom Tov is on Shabbos, the following Shabbos, so then you still have a full week of work, right? Because you can work Erev Shabbos. So then you still say it the Shabbos before. Now there's an interesting din, what happens sometimes. The Chazan is supposed to say half Kaddish, then you say V'inoyim V'ata Kaddish, and then the Chazan says full Kaddish with Tiskabel, and then Aleinu. What happens if by mistake the Chazan said the whole Tiskabel right away at the beginning? Before V'inoyim, instead of saying half Kaddish, everybody was dreaming in outer space, including the rabbi, and the guy by mistake said the whole full Tiskabel. So what do? So what you do is, you say V'inoyim V'ata Kaddish, but then there's only one Tiskabel per tefillah. Okay, so what do? So basically what you do is you say Kaddish without Tiskabel. So you say like it's basically Kaddish Yosim. Kaddish Yosim is with Tiskabel, so you just leave out Tiskabel because you said it already. But you say a full Kaddish. In fact, Purim also, Saturday night. Purim Saturday night, we also say Kaddish Tiskabel, we read out a Megillah, and then we say those few things, and then, again, the Chazan says Kaddish without Tiskabel. Okay? That's that. Okay. What?
Can you just say half Kaddish?
No, you have to say full Kaddish. You have to, before Aleinu, you have to say full Kaddish. Okay, next. That's as far as the Ma'ariv goes. By the way, it's an interesting thing. It says in Sfarim, what happens if you're trying to blow shofar and it doesn't work? So, it's brought down in Sfarim that you say the pasuk V'neim Hashem Elokeinu, that pasuk, not the whole prayer, just V'neim. That's supposed to be a segula for it to work. It's supposed to be a segula for the shofar to blow. In fact, there was an interesting story when they first started the hookups to the Fabrengens, the phone hookups all around the world. So the first one they got, I think, was Australia, and they just bought a big building for the Yeshiva Gedolah, and the Rebbe wanted, in the middle, the Rebbe said maybe you could make that they could talk back. Like this, it was one way, that just hearing the Rebbe's voice. So they tried right away, the guys that thing were trying to figure it out, how to do it. So the Rebbe smiled, and he said, it wasn't working. So the Rebbe smiled and said, no, somebody should say V'inoyam. Maybe then it would work. And by the way, somebody said V'inoyam, and a few minutes later, Taka worked. Okay, that's that. After Ma'ariv, you have Havdalah. Now, like we learned when we're learning Kiddush, there's a mitzvah, Zachar, same as Shabbos Sakach. You have to remember Shabbos to keep it holy. So how do you remember Shabbos? How do you sanctify Shabbos? When it starts and when it ends. Because Shabbos is separate. You have to remember to sanctify it. So therefore you sanctify it when it starts by saying Shabbos is Mekadosh Shabbos or Kiddush. And when Shabbos ends, you make Havdalah to say, we're going now from Havdal ben Kodesh l'chol. So we're going from Kodesh to Chol, so therefore that's the mitzvah of Kiddush, of Havdalah. So therefore, now biblically, if verbal, just like by Kiddush, remember we learned, if you verbally say something about Shabbos, you did the biblical mitzvah, the Chacham say you have to do it over a cup of wine. You have the same thing by Havdalah. There's the biblical Havdalah, which is verbal. Baruch HaMavdil ben Kodesh l'chol. You did the mitzvah of biblical Havdalah. But then you also have to do it over a cup of wine. With Rabbanan, the Chacham say you have to do it over a cup of wine. In addition to that, by Havdalah, we also have Psamim and the candle, the ner. Why do we do Psamim and candle by Havdalah? So it says because on Shabbos, the Gemara says a person is given an extra neshama yeseda, whatever that means, but it is what it is. Some people want to say that if you eat extra on Shabbos, you don't gain weight because the extra neshama gains the weight. But it doesn't work, it's not real. You gain the weight. But there's extra neshama. Now the neshama is leaving, so the person is sad. So therefore we have psamim to smell good, something good, that we should feel better. And we'll discuss the details of some. Why do we do Ber Eish? And this is funny. I mean, the way people do it by Havdalah is just hilarious. But anyway, why do we do Ber Eish? So the Medrash says like this. Adam Rishon was created Friday morning. Okay? That day, the Gemara in Sanhedrin goes hour by hour, play by play, everything that happened the whole Friday, hour by hour. When he was created, and when Hashem did Mechava, when it is, and when they did Eitadas, and when they had kids, the whole thing. So the Medrash says, the first Friday night, there was no darkness. There was no darkness. When Shabbos was over, connected to the Chet Eitadas, by the way, as I'll soon explain, so it became dark. So Adam Rishon faced darkness not until Saturday night. The first Friday night, it was light. So now it was dark. He needed to see what was going on. So Hashem gave him the seichel to rub two stones together, and he created fire. So because fire was created Saturday night, and fire is vital for cooking and warmth, and it's one of the major necessities of life. So to thank Hashem for that, so Saturday night we do the bracha Ber Merei Ha'esh. Now ideally, when you do the bracha Ber Merei Ha'esh, the word is Ma'orei, plural. So therefore the meaning is to have two candles, or two wicks. That's why Havdalah candle is multi-wicked. Right? Or if you don't have a Havdalah candle, you take two regular candles, you put them together, that becomes like one. What happens if somebody has only one candle? So you could also do Ber Merei Ha'esh. So Taisus, if I'm not mistaken, Taisus and Rabbi Psachim, I believe it is, says, because if you look at a fire, the fire also has different colors. There's yellow and there's blue. So when you say Ma'orei, plural, even though L'chatchila you should have multi-wicked or two candles or two matches for that matter. But even if not, you can still make the bracha me'erei, the light of the fire, because there's multi-fire in each candle. So, what?
Why do the two have to be together?
Huh? Because you want to make it me'erei, plural. So no, in me'erei ha'esh, in the esh, there's two. That's what it is. So, okay, so now, what do you do when you say Ber Merei Ha'esh? So, you're supposed to, the reason why we do it is because you're supposed to benefit. We're saying a bracha for benefiting of light. Just so when you make a bracha psamim, you have to smell the psamim. You make a bracha Ber Merei Ha'esh to thank Hashem for the fact that we have fire. So you need to benefit from that fire. Okay? So, there's a lot of things how to do it, different customs. But Leprel, the way you're supposed to do it is you go like this, and then you turn and open up your fingers, right? You go like this and look at the fire. What are you looking at? You're supposed to see the difference because you need to benefit from the candle. I'm not talking Kabbalistically now. I'm just talking halacha. Because then you look at the difference between your nail and the skin. So then you're using the light, the light of the flame, you're benefiting from it because you're looking the difference between the nail and the skin. So Kabbalistically, you close your four fingers with the thumb inside and then you open up, like that. What people do after a long distance, they go like this. I mean, that's like ridiculous. I mean, that's not, you're supposed to, the purpose, you're supposed to benefit from the candle. How you benefit from it. When you go like this, close by, you're supposed to be looking at the difference between the flesh and the nails, so then you're benefiting from the candle.
If the whole point is to benefit from the candle, is it enough to see?
No, because we want to show direct benefit.
So far distance.
Huh?
If you're too far away from doing that.
So you either go closer or you do Ber Merei Ha'esh later. You can't go like this, long distance, high. I mean, you don't wave to the licht.
So you have to see the reflection.
You're supposed to look in the candle and see the difference between your nail and the skin.
So you have to physically see it, or can you be close enough? Let's say the candle.
No, you're supposed to look that you're actually benefiting from it.
Can somebody be Yitzhak for you? Like sometimes.
Can somebody make the bracha for you?
Yeah, because they go to go to shul.
No, you can.
No, and let's say a rabbi.
Can somebody be yaitza you if they make a bracha in shul and you're eating the food in the house? I mean, what are you
We
asking?
have kiddush, we have havdalah, we have things that they do.
I understand, but you listen to the kiddush.
Right.
You're asking if somebody makes the bracha, beira meiro ha'esh, can you be yaitza the bracha from them if you're the ben? Yes, you could.
Why do you have to keep it?
It's Kabbalah. That's Kabbalistic already. What?
That you do you also have lights, generally speaking.
Can you do beira meiro ha'esh on the electric lights according to many poskim? Yes. Now the question is, what happens to LED? So it's not really a flame, so that's another issue. That's a separate argument. But regular electric lights, in fact, he brings down over here, by the way, a bunch of, the Dark Tshuva said you could, the Minchas Elazar says you could, because it's called Ner. The question is if LED is the same way or not. That's a whole separate
You
shaila.
have to know whether the light that you're benefiting from, for example, in shul, is whether it's LED or not. Because then if you're holding up a Havdalah candle, you can still see.
Correct, that's why you're supposed to do Havdalah candle. Okay? Now, okay, but before we get... Oh no, it's time.